It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Well, I got quite the work cut out for me this winter. So, I have been kind of going through the collection. I've been cutting a lot of stuff. A lot of what I've been cutting lately has kind of been questionable, okay? So, and when I say questionable, I'm like, mostly thunder eggs, where I'm like, kind of iffy, right? And oftentimes, it's not looking super good, simply so that I can throw them away. Not throw them away, like, I don't put rocks in the garbage can, but, it's, if something's not super good, it makes its way out back. Another prime example is, here's a Lucky Strike egg, which is not making the cut. And, it's kind of important to go through things, cut them, learn. I mean, on the outside, that looks like a pretty good egg, but no. And unfortunately, this here, I don't know if this one's going to make it. This is actually one of the eggs from Polka Dot. This is in the maybe category. It's just not the best, not my favorite. That's in a maybe pile, I think. And then I have a big bin of random thunder eggs, which I occasionally grab stuff out of. And, any eggs come to me in any number of ways. But if I don't have a location for them that they were found, I just, they go in the bin. So I cut a couple, and, just to see. And we have this guy here, which this one's actually pretty nice. Not the worst egg, right? We have a nice little, some fortification. We got some water line. We got the little druzy pocket. I think that's all right. That one will probably stay. And then this might be from Kentucky. One of the little Kentucky geodes. I don't know. Jury's out on that one. Well, one of the reasons why I'm kind of going through everything is because I want to figure out what's going to stay in the shop and what's going to make its way into the house, the indoor collection. So one of the big goals this winter is to take all the indoor rocks, and I'm going to be gluing a number to them. This just says test. And cataloging all of the rocks in a spreadsheet with all of the information, all the cabinet pieces. Obviously, I don't have to do that for like my micro mounts, my thumbnails. They have all the info. So the way I am doing this, which I've tried a bunch of different things, I'm using Elmer's Clear, and I'm dabbing some on, and then I take my number and I stick it on, and I put more on top. And the reason I'm using this Elmer's glue is because I can clean it off. This is like a semi-permanent label. If it's just sitting here like that, it's going to be on there for a very, very long time. However, a little bit of acetone, and it's off. It's off. I'm not really doing that to anything very fragile, but just some of the nicer cabinet specimens. I want to be able to have a good cataloged system, and I think that's the way that I'm going to accomplish that. I've been moving everything around out here in the shop, which that's good. I took the carpet wheel apart, fully cleaned it, new carpet. Typically in the past, right, I use this. We have some pink cerium oxide here. Now, it's been pretty good, right? It's not the best. And the reason it's not the best, it's not because it doesn't work well, it's the color of it, right? So the problem, when you take something like this piece of petrified wood here, this limb cast, and you can see we have these little cracks there. Well, my question to you is this polish, or is that a natural white? See, your eye doesn't really notice something when it's white, but it'll notice something when it's pink. So if you have a little crack in the rock and you get a little bit of white in there, not a big deal. This isn't actually polish at all, but if it was, you really wouldn't notice. So the upgrade is some white cerium oxide that, I just bought. So best deal I could find on the internet at this point in time is from these guys. No relationship to them, but that. So switching that around the carpet wheel, moving stuff around in the shop. It's all good. I can't wait to show you what the place is looking like. I think it's coming along nicely. It'll be much more livable, workable come winter, and that's the important part. Fall is here, so that's it's good to get the shop all nice and dialed in. I also don't like clutter. I don't like clutter at all, and I want just a bunch of quality stuff. So things need to go places. Man, what can I say about this past week? The Snowbird mine was impressive. I mean, it's been something that's been on the bucket list for a while now, and I'm very happy that we had the opportunity to go get some nice little crystals, right? Like, I think the crystals that we found are plenty good and make me plenty happy. However, that's not the win, for me at least. The thing is, everybody gets to have their own kind of things they go for in this rockhounding world. There's no wrong way to really do this. You get to do what you want to do. I get to do what I want to do. And what makes me happy is to have things like this. So, like a specimen jar with 3 different colors of fluorite in it, and this goes up on the shelf for later reference. To have some nicer crystals from a locality, some more chunky pieces like this piece of fluorite right here, and something rare, a couple of rare things. What is truly impressive to me, other than my kind of nicer 3 pieces of fluorite, which I think these are quite good and colorful. Yeah, I guess maybe it's something you should really view all side by side. It's cool to see the variety coming from a single location. Well, let's see if we do that. How about there? The variety coming from a single location is quite good, so that's fun. But I like something rare, and the Parisite with the antibergite coating is crazy. That sheen right there, very cool. Granted, we didn't get any Parisite terminations, but there's always next year. There's always next year. Look at that. So I'll include some photos taken under the microscope, and it's just like the most wild colors. Very, very, let's see, can we focus? How about that? Yeah. Like very just like neon fluorescent 80s in appearance. Something unique like that. It makes me very, very happy to see. And what can I say? I'm a sucker for something rare like that. That whole area is quite interesting, and I definitely plan on going back next year. It is a location where, man, it is remote. It's remote. So, visitor beware. You are on your own. The past 2 Saturday night specials, we talked a little bit about some of the behind-the-scenes things in the rockhounding world. The business side of this. What I do, if you're watching other content creators, the world that we engage in here. And I think it's been a great, valuable conversation. And we're going to continue it a little bit this week. important to kind of unpeel the onion, show how the hot dogs are made. And I think everybody kind of comes out on top here. You know, we all get to learn some things. Man, the comments on those videos, if you're curious, go back, watch the past 2 Saturday night specials. Some excellent, excellent comments. So, the thing that I dislike, and I try really hard to be a good consumer of content and judge things appropriately. I don't like lying. And lying is very prevalent nowadays in social media. And that's really, you know, the primary way that the majority of people in the rock and mineral world engage with the hobby, or other people, I should say other people in the hobby, is over social media. Because of that, your eyes are extremely valuable. And I don't think a lot of people understand this and realize where you aim your attention really, really matters a lot. And some people have exploited that, and they lie for that attention. And the thing is, clickbaiting is one of the most egregious acts, and it's definitely a lie. And I personally find it to be quite detestable. And the problem is, so many people push up against this line of clickbaiting. And what exactly is clickbait? It is a misrepresentation to get you to click. That's how I define it. I don't think there's a real definition. And a misrepresentation that's done knowingly, in my book, is a lie. I don't like liars. But how do you know what clickbait is before you actually click it? It's kind of, I think it's hard, right? So, some of the things that you might want to, I look for, right, would be anything with a question in it. Like the title or the thumbnail. Betteridge's Law states that any headline ending in a question mark can be answered with a no. Okay, so that right there, you kind of know it's a misleading thing. Like, I have a great example already prepared. Stay with me. So questions, things like image outlining, composite images, oversaturation, goofy faces. These are all things. Now, this isn't 100%, okay? And when I say it's not 100%, like, these are red flags, right? And I'll give you an example of this. So, when somebody's clickbaiting, they will take an image. That's just a normal image from maybe a place they went. Maybe it's a place in the video. They take a normal image and they add their face to that image. Except they don't really understand how to edit graphics or like clip things out. So they add an outline to it. And the outline is a dead giveaway that somebody kind of doesn't really know what they're doing. So they add an outline. Maybe they then need to add something that shows the specimen, right? But if the specimen's not that great, that's kind of hard, you know? And usually it's going to be them holding it. So what do is you make this image, you resize it to the ratio that's required here on YouTube, and then you take the original photo, which your camera takes at a larger resolution, and bring that in. So now we have a shocked face. We have our hand holding an oversized specimen, and all that's missing is the text. And the text is, of course, a question which we can answer as no. So right here, I produced a rather deceptive image for something that otherwise, you know, if you're just like, is this the greatest ever? The answer is objectively, measurably no. It is not the greatest ever. However, you can, things don't have to be the greatest, bestest, most amazingest thing ever to have interest to it. This being one of the rare pieces of blue petrified wood that I found up on Saddle Mountain here in central Washington. So what I've came to the conclusion of is if you see this type of image as a thumbnail, you can kind of be like, basically hover your hand. I hover my hand. I don't want to tell you what to do. I hover my hand basically over that unsubscribe button. I'm like, feel like it's not going to live up to it. It's not going to live up to it. And if it doesn't live up to it this time, it's not going to live up to it in the future. And it definitely didn't live up to it in the past. So that's one thing that I do. And I think other people could maybe do and become a better consumer of media and be picky and understand the value of your own attention, you know? Every single rock and mineraloid, can I throw mineraloids in there? Fossils? Every single one of them is interesting. What is difficult is presenting that in a manner that displays the interestingness. I think the Parisite with Anna Burgite is very, very interesting. I find it to be fascinating. But if you didn't know how to present it as fascinating, you might just be like, oh, it's just a little brown rock, like whatever. The importance is in the detail and the understanding of two different cerium oxides and side-by-siding them and all of this content. Like, there's a million angles to make something interesting without lying. So many people are doing it, though, these days. I personally take offense to it. I think it insults someone's intelligence when you think you need to make a goofy, googly-eyed face to get them to click your content. Is that really what you view? How you view the people watching your content? I don't do it. So, anyways, I think we're going to be putting a pin in this conversation. There will not be a continuation of this next week. I think I've covered a lot of the stuff that I would like to cover. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, hanging out with me in the shop, listening to what I have to say. And we dropped a podcast this week. Go check it out. Currently, rockhounding.com/podcast. A new episode of the previously Rockhounding podcast is up. And we'll put a pin in this and leave this one here, everybody. Y'all take care.